Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the NS9 Postgame show powered by Primanti Brothers. I am your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we have the OG in the house, Ryan Alexander. Ryan, we started this back in 2019 for the hopes that one day in 2024, we can see this type of baseball being played, correct?
Well, we started it in 2016. You said 19.
I said 16.
You said 19.
Run that back.
Did he say 19 or 16, people? Let us know. But yes, we started this in 2016. But I'll tell you this, DiNardo. I came in here. I didn't have much to say about this game. I've said for a while I've been numb, empathetic, just whatever at this point on this team. But it all went away when Rowdy took the mound and pitched a half inning. So that kind of made my night. And I got myself a Guinness here. We're getting ready to well, I've been drinking, but we're going to drink some more. And there we go. It's trending now. We're drinking on post games. But yeah, the Pirates, we just couldn't wait for a game like this, huh?
All right, everyone is saying I said 19. So literally in my head, I said 16.
That's how your mind works.
These Pirates just, I don't know, Ryan. I have a lot to say.
I don't, so that's good. That's good that you do.
So let's do this. Before we get into saying our things that we need to say, or at least I need to say, BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason, NFL to college kicking off, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff? Get in on the winner-take-all $300,000 NFL Survivor pool for the upcoming season. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker, or unwind with one of our over 150 slot games. Head to the website today, use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, and get in on the action. Bet online, the game starts here. Ryan, simply put it, this was embarrassing. This was shameful. This was a disgrace. This was pathetic. This is an abomination.
It wasn't.
If you want to use the coined term year 5, whatever have you, this was a year the Pirates looked to actually be competitive. Whether it's playoffs or not, you can debate. Out of Ben Cherington's mouth himself last year, they look to be close. They look to be like this year's going to be a competitive year. Playoffs, 84 wins, like that's the goal. Tonight's the night you have Jim Leyland brought back. Barry Bonds brought back. I would say Manny Sanguillen brought back, but that guy just never leaves. I think he sleeps at PNC Park.
He's here all the time.
You have them come back, and this is the display you have as far as baseball goes. And I'm not even talking about, Jake Woodford starting. He's really not a major leaguer. That's not his fault. He's here for circumstances, whatever. I'm talking just the basics of baseball. The ability that you are a professional outfielder and you know how to field a ball. The ability to know what base to throw it to. I don't know, maybe twice in a game. The ability to just know how to run bases. Just the easy, fundamental stuff that in 2024, year 5 of this rebuild, everybody should have an expectation of knowing how to do and how to perform. And it's the easiest shit that this team doesn't even know how to do.
You done?
For now, that's your social cue to say, it's my turn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, where do you want me to go here? The fundamentals have gotten worse since, I don't know, last year, the year before, the beginning of this year. They just seem to get worse. We're starting Woodford, like you said, because of circumstance, but it's circumstance that you created. Not you, DiNardo, Ben Cherington. It's circumstances that the Pirates created themselves. And it's just, so the Pirates did the Hall of Fame thing today. It was very cool to see Barry Bonds and Jim Leyland together. That was the highlight of the game, was basically having them in the booth for an inning or so, even though that inning was awful. It was a disaster. and then Manny Seguin. But on a day you have that, like, yeah, you're not going to, the pitcher is whatever. It's not like you set that date for the Hall of Fame a while back. It's not like you're going to just somehow, work Paul Skeen's schedule around starting that game or something. But like you said, it's year 5. The team should just be better than this. They should. And because it isn't, is an indictment on Ben Cherington. It's an indictment on Derek Shelton, an indictment on Bob Nutting. And for every, for the great thing what they did with this Hall of Fame, which, I give a shout out to Jim Turdinich, because I know this was his main thing when he, left the Pirates PR role and kind of took this over as like the team historian. This was like his main thing. And I thought they did a very good job with it. Finally did something that was overdue with Leyland and Barry Bonds, like bringing Barry Bonds back into the fold with the Pirates and everything. And you do this, and there's the on-field product. Just there again, like normal, just shining, a nice shining turd, DiNardo, over the whole night in the Hall of Fame ceremony and everything. So yeah, the on-field product doesn't change. And that's what we've seen. And we're supposedly at the end of this rebuild. And here we are having games like this. Fundamentals are terrible. Jake Woodford starting. You have to be better. You have to be better. And, people are in here calling for firings, which has been kind of the theme this year. I wanted Ben Cherington and Shelton gone last year. So I'm with everybody. I don't think they're going to get rid of Cherington, but I think Shelton is definitely on the table. But yeah, it was just like I said, just that on-field product just is always there to just remind you of what we're dealing with here.
For someone who didn't have any words, you sure took up some time there, right?
Yeah, I was trying. You got me going. You got me motivated.
I just can't, what I loved about this game
was
Jim Leyland was in the house. Jim Leyland was talking, and it was a nice, refreshing reminder of Shelton's got to go. Honestly, like and I know we've been talking about, but like if tonight just didn't emphasize that even further, this team just has no accountability. We talk time and time again. Just no accountability. Nothing. People make mistakes all the time. I get that. But just the onslaught of allowing it to happen and who cares, whatever. Just, again, like when Barry and Leyland, Jim were in that booth talking, and like they said in the comments here, and it was true. Like they were poking fun of the Pirates. Barry looking at that play, that Brian De La Cruz botches. I mean, which one do you want to refer to? I forget which one it was.
Right.
But it's like, that would never happen with you, Jim. Ironically, before the game, I tweet out there, and everyone that was going into Hall of Fame put tweets out there, added a little video. And for Jim Leyland's one, I was like, what better way? I'm like, do I have one where he's getting ejected? I'm like, Bonds is entering it too. Let's have him chewing out Barry Bonds at spring training. The infamous video, right? Because that's Jim Leyland. That's also the relationship they had. Amazing friends. But Jim would give it to Barry like he did right there. That's that accountability. I'm the GD manager, right? You're going to listen to me. You're going to respect me. I'm not going to put up with this bullshit.
Or get the hell out. Right.
And like, it's just like, man, does this team need that? Because I just feel like they just run all over Shelty. And again, the things that I do like about Shelton are some that I think you can't really teach. Like people know baseball and they can teach it, and you can teach someone how to play baseball, or learn or whatever. But like building relationships and that side of things is harder to teach people, and I think he has that. But in the same sense, it's just there's this, again, like the accountability word. It's the buzzword for how many months now, I feel. And today was just the biggest display of it. All that out there. And it's like, and Jim Leyland's right there. And you're like, that's who needs to be managing this team today, right now. Because if there's anybody that needs Jim Leyland right now, it's the 2024/25 Pittsburgh Pirates. This message is old. This message is stale. Whatever's going on right now, there has to be a change. And like a catalyst of that, and I know I could get jumped on this because there's other people out there, but one of the issues, and I think this is also just part of like what we're talking about with Oil Cruz, like I think he just tries to do too much. And like you're down that much, but like you're on second base, there's no outs. The ball's hit to the third baseman, and you take off the third.
It's right in front of you. First out at third. Yeah.
What are you doing? And like that's the moment. It's like, take him out of the game. This season's lost anyways. That's a message. That's a message. You got to do better because in August 24th, 2025, you guys better be in this. And you can't be having that stuff happening a year from today. But that doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. And he made some great plays on the field today. He made an error into him being on second. Like he does good stuff, but I don't care at this point. There needs to be some of that accountability in the clubhouse. Brian De La Cruz threw the ball to the wrong base twice. And then simply couldn't feel the ball bounced into the outfield.
Couldn't even field it. And then Bay right behind it overran it.
It's terrible.
That's the thing. If you like people, and just saying Cruz's name, people get fired up. So you can rag on Cruz about not having his head in the game, making mental errors, doing stupid plays like that on the base path. But if it was just Cruz doing these things, then I'm with you. But it's not just Cruz. It's multiple players. Night after night, week after week, series after series. It's the same show. And like you said, Shelton, other managers would pull them out immediately when that happens. Shelton doesn't. There is no accountability. And they just, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors. Well, sometimes it needs to be in the public's eye. And we just never see it with this team and with Shelton. And, people will say, well, who would you get to replace Shelton? I don't care. Anybody at this point. You could go get the next great manager coming up for all we know. But you could go. I always felt Shelton even when they made the hire, when Ben came in and made the hire, you knew you had a long rebuild ahead of you. I always felt Shelton was a placeholder. And he's still here, which is surprising to me that he made it through last season. The team hasn't gotten better under him. I think everybody would be in agreement that the talent has gotten better on the 25, 26-man roster. But we're not getting any better. I mean, we're on pace to, not even hit last year's win total. So at what point do you just say enough's enough? Let's go get rid of Shelton, who was pretty much brought in here as a first-time manager to run a rebuild, to not give a crap because we're going to lose a lot of games. And he's still losing a lot of games. But it's time to change. Like, the talent's here. Skeens is here. Like, it's time to go on to the next thing. So fire Shelton and go get somebody with experience or go get somebody else. I don't care at this point. But you're right. Shelton's got to go. And I agree. Ben Sherrington should also go. But he's not going to. That's just the reality of it. And it actually, for him to kind of save himself and give him another year or two, he's got to fire Shelton, I think, at this point. So go do it. We should have fired him last year.
I don't want to see him the rest of the year.
I don't
honestly
either,
I don't. For so many reasons, I don't think he's the answer. And it's one of those things where if he's not the answer, then you need to make that decision now. There's no reason to holding on to him. And by doing it now, there's a another message that was said today by Jim Leyland, which once again, like, you appreciate. And it's kind of what we've talked about to some level of degree, for different reasons. But he put the accountability on his stars. He's like, you see that? And back then the 25-man rosters, but like, you see how that guy had to be sent down? That's your fault. You did that. You caused that man to be back in the minor leagues right now because you guys aren't performing. Like the simple stuff like that. The simple stuff where, I don't care how much you were getting paid. The only privilege you have is every 2 weeks when you get that paycheck. Other than that, you're just like everybody else. It's all those little things. And to go along with that, I need Shelton to go because, again, that's the message. He's not the answer. He shouldn't be back in 2025. You let him go now, and you put on the players. And I know it's not all their fault, but let that be known. Let them feel that. He's gone. Like, do you see this performance you guys had last night? Do you see how pathetic that was? That's pitiful. He's gone because of that. You guys suck. You guys are trash. You guys don't even know how to play baseball. And because of that, he's out of a job. What are you going to do now? Like, if this clubhouse doesn't need that type of message at this point in time, I don't know what they need.
How about, I just posted here, York went 2 for 4 tonight. How about York's in AAA, Cook's in AAA? Yet I got to sit here and watch it bats from Triolo and Bay overrunning a ball after De La Cruz can't field it, and McKinney. Like, get these guys up. Where's Henry Davis? Why are we not up here? Like, this team just doesn't, this team does nothing like correct from on field to the front office. And like you said, just listening to Leyland and Bonds talk in the broadcast booth, like, just the contrast is night and day. And it was hilarious because that inning that they were on for was awful when the Pirates gave up, I don't know what, 4 runs in that inning in the, it was the 4th inning.
Yep.
And like, it was just lingering on. And like Greg Brown, he ran out of shit to ask. Like, he didn't know where to go from there. And it was just Bob Walk staring at them. And Greg Brown was like they literally was like, okay, see you guys. It was the inning was still going on. So like they rushed them out of the booth and the inning was still going on. So it's just, that's just, it was just a sterling reminder, DiNardo, about the on-field product, and the Pirates they're just not there. And I don't know how to get there. I don't know how to get there with Shelton and Sherrington, but somebody's got to go. If not all of them, you got to get rid of the manager. Bring in somebody. And like I said, at the very least, Sherrington needs to do it just to save him his own job and get, at that point, he can tell Bob or whoever's his boss at this point, if it's Williams or whatever, he can sell that to them and say, I'm bringing in an experienced manager. He's going to be the right guy for this team to bring all the young guys together and turn this thing around. And it buys Ben a year or two, but it's got to happen. It should have happened last year.
Hey, listen, I am not going to argue anybody if you want Ben Sherrington fired and that happens. I'm perfectly okay with it. But what I'm going to say here is you can make the argument, and here's the argument he's going to make. They've improved every year. They have Paul Skeens now. They have like look what I've done. There's been a lot of bad luck. There's been a lot of this and that, whatever. And you can sell that to Bob Nutting as Ben Sherrington, right? Like, as Bob Nutting, I'm coming down here and saying, well, how are you going to fix it? Again, I'm Ben Sherrington, like, this is what we're alluding to. Well, I need to get rid of Derek. It's the manager. So, like, this is why I'm perfectly okay, and I would go that route also.
Right.
But I also can understand you can sell it as it's not as bad as things look. I'm building here. The problem is, Bob, you see that on-field stuff? That's not me. It's not me. That's down there. I don't know what these coaches are doing. I got to get rid of them. So that's why the whole, like, the package of Ben and Derek don't have to go. It's not an all or nothing thing. It easily can be Derek's the scapegoat.
Yep.
That's why. And that can buy him another year, or so. And that's why I see this happening also. Because I truly feel, and I could be totally wrong, and this is probably just me buying more into the Pirates front office ways and ownership ways, and that's out there. But I feel like there should be some questions answered at the end of this year. And that's why I kind of feel like Derek's job's not all that safe for those reasons. Yeah, there's some good stuff, but man, this wasn't the progress we were talking about. So
you mentioned you see it happening. That's the problem. I'm not even 70% sure that they would get rid of Shelton at the end of this year or now or whenever, because it's just the Pirates. it's their status quo. We'll just keep rolling with what we have, and we made a commitment to them, and blah blah blah. And it is whatever, you know. So, like, I mean, I said this a couple weeks ago. I'm very concerned about this offseason coming up as far as what they do in free agency and with trades. But I can't sit here today and tell you that I think for sure that Shelton's going to go. He should go. I want him gone, obviously, but this team just seems to do the anti-popular thing that they should do. So I don't know. Do you want to talk about this game at all?
No, I don't want to.
Because I was like, people tuning in for the post game are going to be like, was there a game tonight? What happened?
There was.
We got to talk about Rowdy. Come on. Can we talk about Rowdy?
The only person who did anything, and he did everything.
He was the MVP tonight.
He was the person that put the 2 runs on the board. He actually pitched scoreless inning. I mean, he did it all.
There was two positive things from this game. Was Rowdy Tellez, and the second was Kyle Nicholas had a nice outing. That's about it.
Beeks did too.
Jake Woodford. Like, at this point, all these starters that aren't the top 4. So going into next year, we should have Skeens, Keller, Jones, Bubba Chandler, most likely, if not to start the season very shortly after. We need a 5th starter. There's a lot of pitchers here that could all are kind of in the picture. I'm pretty confident to say Jake Woodford isn't one of them. I don't need to see him anymore. I don't need to see him in 2025. Let's just be done with that. He did not pitch well tonight. And the offense scored 2 runs in 1 inning, which is another MO for where they scored all their runs in 1 inning. It came on a Rowdy Tellez Allegheny River shot, and they had 3 hits total. Yeah. And then Rowdy pitched a scoreless 9th inning, which was fantastic.
It was.
Like Peter just said here, F it, throw Rowdy in the pen. Why not?
They might need
Why not? It'd probably be better.
Also,
our fundamentals are already out the window.
Yeah, Hunter Stratton left the game with a really bad injury. And actually, someone put in the chat, and top of my head now, I forget. I guess Alex Stump did report it. Was it a patella tendon rupture? Is that what it was?
Yeah, you kind of figured he tore.
Let me just go on Twitter.
Ruptured something, but yeah, that was DiNardo. I don't know. Like, I've never seen that injury on the bricks behind home plate ever. Like, usually you don't see pitchers that far down, unless they're like backing up a throw to home or whatever. But it was a wild pitch. He goes to basically get the throw to home, and he runs out to home behind home plate and just slides on that warning track. Foot gets caught, like his spike got caught in the warning track, and just like so awkwardly slid into those bricks. And at first it was like, I thought it was his knee, like his knee just like hit the bricks really hard. Yeah. But then you could see on the replay, like his foot got caught, and it was ugly. Like, I'd never seen anything like that in that spot.
Yeah. At the very first, I thought the way he went down too, I was thinking like he broke his kneecap. Because that would be painful as well. But yeah, when he saw the replays, like, ooh, I don't know. I mean, he could have done all 3. Like, he could have broke his kneecap plus tore a tendon or something. But yeah, it does. Yeah. So Alex does state that he's currently being examined by team doctors, but he sustained a left knee patella tendon rupture. And that's not cool. And that was the left knee, I think. Oh yeah. Actually, he did say here. Yeah, the left knee. So, I mean, that's the knee you plan on, too. Like, pitching, like, that's no bueno.
Was that his, because that was his first batter. He came in. Okay, he threw 4 pitches. I was thinking that was his first pitch. No, he literally threw 4 pitches, and yeah, they had to pull him. Obviously, like, he didn't record an out. He didn't give up, any hits at nothing. So, like, just very strange. Jim Rosati was watching the game, or not watching the game, and he got the alert that Hunter Stratton injured his knee, like behind home plate. And Jim was like, he put in the group chat, was like, I'm trying to figure out a scenario where this even happened. And it's like, right. Yeah, it happened. It was very strange. I never seen anything like it. So, so that sucked. That was another negative thing about tonight.
Right. So a big loss. Now I do know Colin Horderman is at PNC Park, right? I mean, that was reported that, Jones and Horderman were
Jared
there.
Jones is here. Yep.
So I assume obviously they're going to need, put him on the IL, need someone. Horderman is there. I bet they had intentions of doing something else, but that's now the imminent need. So I anticipate Horderman will be back tomorrow. Good, bad, indifferent. He will be back tomorrow, I assume. But yeah,
will be back
Kyle Nicholas,
Woodford, hopefully.
Kyle Nicholas performed well his outing. Beeks performed well in his appearance also. And like outside of that, I mean, I know Isaiah Kiner-Falefa led off the game with a hit. I mean, it was 4-0 at that point, but it was 5-0 last night. He leads off with a hit. They don't do anything. But then eventually, like you mentioned, like Rowdy hits the 2-run shot. It's a 4-2 ball game.
Here we go. The Buccos, they don't give up. They're rallying.
Right.
Another comeback, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
Not
and what does Jim talk about on the broadcast? This is the inning for Woodford right here. He needs to shut them down because you had the momentum. This is a bit, and he does. Yeah, he shuts them down. And then he came back out again and said, let's give up 4 more runs again. And that pretty much sealed the deal for the Pirates. And it didn't get better. And then again, as mentioned, like all those errors came. Well, and the thing is too, like they're not even actually errors. They're just mental mistakes, which is also why when you talk about fielding percentage and errors, like that's not the end all be all to defense, guys, because according to Brian De La Cruz in the box score, he was perfectly okay today as a defender. So maybe there's a little more than just errors. And I don't know, fielding percentage when it comes to defense.
Yeah, Hunter Stratton got an error on that missed catch before the injury. That's just brutal night for him. But yeah, that was it, man. I'm telling you, just Rowdy pitching the 9th. I mean, throwing, what was his top pitcher? 54 miles an hour, 58.
Actually, I don't know. Let me go check that out.
It was fantastic. I mean, in the first thing you're like, has he pitched before? And of course they showed and there's my kids not in bed yet. Of course they showed last year
70.6 on his changeup.
Yeah. Last year, he pitched with the Brewers too. So
yeah, according to this, Rowdy threw a bunch of sliders and then 2 changeups.
It was sweet.
He was really working on them breaking balls tonight, baby. He fell right into the Oscar Marine tutelage.
He gave up a hit, then he got the double play ball, and then he got another ground out. So it was fantastic.
Yeah, but again, it might not be Horderman. Maybe again they're going to use Rowdy till Ryan said, "See you later." He's done. I've never seen this before. Like he's actually out of the stream. There's no he left. He's gone. So I guess it's up to me now. And it is 28 minutes, so this is almost over. But again, yeah, Rowdy pitched well. I guess if there's a bright spot, some fun to this massacre of a game, that was it. But all in all, I mean, no one showed up. 3 hits. Again, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa had 1. Tellez, of course, the 2-run shot. And then O'Neill Cruz had a hit. Just a bad game. Just a bad game all around. I said what I needed to say earlier. I don't have that much more else to say. But again, like just a disgrace. This was a big moment for the Pittsburgh Pirates, a big day. Barry Bonds coming back, being embraced by this city again, by this organization again. Jim Leyland coming back once again. And it's not, again, I just to cap that off, it's not that Woodford's not that good of a pitcher and he gave up those earned runs. You know, it wasn't even just like, hey, this team's not that good. It's just the stupid, pathetic things that this team still can't manage to do this far into this rebuild, this far into trying to be competitive. And it's all the stupid, silly, fundamental mistakes this team is still doing. How can you expect this team to go over that hump? How can you expect this team to start winning? Where's that winning culture and mindset when you can't even throw a baseball to the right base or just simply field the baseball in the outfield? Gets by 2 defenders, the actual defender and the guy backing him up, which makes the guy Ellie De La Cruz, who wasn't even hustling to first base, get the second easily. I mean, the run was scoring, but Ellie De La Cruz ends up on second base with no problem because not one damn person knows and understands how to field a baseball in the outfield. It's pathetic. Just pathetic.
What I miss?
Nothing. I was just kind of recapping this and getting out of here because you clearly were done.
I told you I didn't want to go past the half hour.
Yeah.
But,
obviously.
Yeah, it just wasn't one of those games. And hey, the Pirates took 2 games the last 2 days, so it's not like, I mean, they have a chance to take 3 or 4 tomorrow.
This game doesn't deserve an excuse.
It doesn't, but I'm just saying they can win 3 or 4. But I agree.
Great.
They need to be better.
We out of here then?
Yes, I already was. So
yeah. Well, thanks for the return. Let's get out of here. For everyone who watched, listen, as always, truly appreciate it. Without you guys,
yeah,
I don't know.
We wouldn't be.
I don't know. I know some people like tweet at me today. He's like, I don't know how you still watch this team. And honestly, like, this is why I enjoy this. I enjoy you guys.
Yep.
I don't necessarily do this as the fan of the Pirates, if that makes sense. I enjoy this. I enjoy producing and doing this, giving this type of content for you all, and you all being here and us having this group therapy sessions. So this is what it's really about.
Too. That's what it is. Group therapy,
but
for sure.
Damn it. If this team could actually be competent once and have a good product like early in the year when times and vibes were fun and high, how much better this could be.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. Like I wouldn't say the talent across, in every position, but like if you were going to start a Major League Baseball team and you said, what do I want to have the best of? Your starting rotation is it. And the Pirates they're loaded in the rotation. They have Paul freaking Skeens. Like this kind of pitcher doesn't come around all the time, especially to the Pittsburgh Pirates. You have to take advantage. You can't waste this offseason. You can't go into next year with, I love you, but you can't go into next year with Rowdy Tellez at first or Triolo playing as many games as he has so far this year. You have to be better.
Absolutely. There's no excuse next year. Zero. It is absolutely go time. Because if it's not, it's a complete failure. So how do you start that off? By firing Shelton in season. Kick that off right now. Get this thing going. Start showing that accountability. Start showing nobody's job safe going to this offseason. And you all better start playing for a job. And you know what, damn it? That's the other thing. I mean, some of these guys are truly playing for their jobs. G1 Bay, you got to know you're playing for your job. Right? Brian De La Cruz, you're playing for a job. And and that's, you still can't do the easy, stupid, silly things. It's time to do it.
He should
Let's
be
get out of here, Ryan.
Already. Yep, I'm going to leave again. So,
everyone, appreciate you. We'll see you. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure who's on the post game, but good luck to you guys that are.
Yeah, we have a fantasy football draft, so there you go.
That's right, we do. And I have the number 1 pick, and I am going to perform better than Ben Cherington.
I don't know about that. We'll see. Your record at fantasy football is not that great of a track record. So.
And I'm still confident that I will. All right,
Thanks,
we're out.
Guys. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Hey, you all. Thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.